What's up, Docs Daily? It's Thursday. It's Thursday, December 18th. You officially have about 6 days left to get me my Christmas gift and have it shipped to me. So take your time, but don't panic.
It's going to need to be 4 days then, Lenny. If we got to ship
I'm just saying, you got 6 days to make it happen, to get it here. So act accordingly. I've been giving you guys a serious, since December 1st. I've been telling you. So stay on. I hope many of you have already gotten that handle. Do your Christmas shopping. I just bought my wife her first Christmas gift this morning.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. So I'm joined with Craig Trapp and Robert Ferringo. We're going to talk a little college basketball today. We got NBA, we got NHL, we got I think the best Thursday night football game we've had all year on tonight. Or at least I have big hopes for this game. But that being said, it'll end up 5-3. Football game. We got a little college football game on too as well. So we got a lot of everything to talk about, but don't let me forget free $60 account. If you're brand new to Docs and you haven't taken advantage of this, do it. Now is the time. Free link in the description of the video. You can click it, take you right over to the website. Free $60. Use out any handicappers picks you want over at the website. You could split it up between these two guys. You can use it on a week pass, season pass. You do you Pikachu. It's free $60 on premium plays. Free. Links in the description of the video. Craig Trapp. Robert already picked up my Red Wings yesterday. So he's already on this. He's Christmas. You're almost off the Christmas card list, Robert. Don't mess around. What do we got going on today, gentlemen?
Yeah, a lot. I think it's a good card. You said it. This is the first basically pick'em game we've had, right? All year long on Thursday Night Football. So the odds tell you how good it is. They're both basically the same record. It means something as far as winning the division, potentially having a home, maybe getting a bye, but definitely having a home game or two, maybe throughout the NFC playoffs. So that's a great game. I don't know about the bowl game. I thought today's bowl game wasn't that great, but at least there's bowl action. And then the NBA. I do like the NBA Cup, but the one bad thing is the scheduling kind of gets whacked up for that week there, basically in Vegas. And we didn't have a whole lot today. We're back at normal schedule. 12 games today, Lenny. Yeah. And don't forget, I'm not even going to say. I got a top play tonight. I'm not going to say if I'm hot or cold, because if I say I'm hot, I'm going to lose. I'm not jinxing myself. I have a 7-unit in the NBA tonight. Let's win. That's all I'm going to say.
I told people I was hot in the NHL yesterday, and I told everybody about the Red Wings, and then we saw how that went. Yep. So don't do it, Craig. Don't
say the H word. Don't say hot.
Don't say that. You might as well call it a lock. I mean,
it's just not good. What is going on with them? I don't think I've won with the Red Wings yet this year. Yet they're in first place in their division. Somehow they win games, just never when I taste them. They have a -7 goal differential.
Yeah, I don't know. It ain't pretty.
Okay,
Robert, when you're on their back, they can't skate as well. That's the problem.
Right. I know. A little heavy. It's a holiday season. I'm getting a little heavy, so yeah, no, not great.
10 games in the NHL, and I'll tell you what, I'm happy the Red Wings aren't one of them. I'm just saying, I kind of tweeted this out. I got some slack on Twitter about it, whatever. This is exactly what a Steve Yzerman team you should expect a Steve Yzerman team to be led by. When he led the Tampa Bay Lightnings, they were a disappointment. Mediocre. They'd make the playoffs. They'd be on the bubble, but they didn't win shit until he left. Okay, and then he came to the Wings. He came home, right? It was great. We had the prodigal son has returned to fix Hockey Town. And what are we? We've been a bubble team since he's gotten here. Playoffs, we're right there, but we ain't going nowhere. They don't do what they're frustrating. I'm just going to say. I'm holding a baseball in my hand, so I'm going to put it down.
Oh, goodness. Don't break anything.
Oh, yeah. Listen, it's officially mock draft season for the NFL for the Lions.
What was that song? Don't hate it. Don't break it. That rap song way back in the day?
I don't know, but I love listening to Craig rap.
I was just going to say, you do you Pikachu. I'll give you your spot if you want your spot. Yeah, I'll give you the center stage.
I'm a country guy too.
We have our next streaming show. All right, you mentioned the bowl game. Let's get that out of the way. Missouri State. Just take Missouri State tonight. Okay, good. We're
on the same page. I was going to ask you guys about this because
you have to. It's
I'm just being a degenerate betting this game.
It's their first ever bowl game. It's their
Right.
first ever bowl game. They're going to be jazzed up for it. It just means a little more to them than to Arkansas State. I think Arkansas State was not a great road team this year. No, it's Missouri State or nothing for me.
Is it, Robert, do you think if I see the same thing, if you like them, you kind of got to like Kennesaw State tomorrow too, I think. Like you might as well just parlay them together. Because kind of bet in the same conference.
Never parlay. So
well, I'm just saying it's the same idea. So
thing.
like if one wins, I kind of think it's like, they're basically not a lot of bowl history, these guys, and kind of means a little more probably to somebody that's not there on a regular basis from the same conference too.
Yeah, I mean, Kennesaw State has been playing really, really well, by the way. They've only lost once since mid-September. So, they won their conference championship game. They have a lot of momentum there. Who knows what's going on at Western Michigan? They won their conference championship game. Was that enough for them? I don't like that one as much just because I can make an argument for Western Michigan, right? Like we've seen them have some bowl success, but Missouri State, this is all new territory. And Arkansas State, do they care about this game even a little bit? You got to think that they're one of those teams that a lot of their kids are looking to transfer up or transfer out. So, their motivation level versus Missouri State's motivation level, I just don't think are even close.
I was actually a little shocked that this line was close to a pickup, to be honest with you. I just thought I
hate Butch Jones. I hate Butch Jones. He was here at Cincinnati. He did a great job at Cincinnati. Not so good when he was at Tennessee. I think, I think it was Central Michigan, Cincinnati, Tennessee. It was like, you might have went too fast there. You kind of skipped the step maybe. And then now you don't go back to Big 12, Conference USA. You go, boom, Sun Belt. It's like, ugh.
Well, part of the reason I like Missouri State so much today is I'm still just kind of kicking myself. Delaware was probably one of my favorite bowl picks of the season. And did I push in on it? No, I did not. I was a wuss about it and went small on it. But I loved Delaware yesterday for, again, same kind of reasons. These teams are just excited to be here, man.
Right.
Bowl games are going the way of the dodo. Okay, people care less and less about bowl games. Nobody cares about bowl games. For these teams that have never been to a bowl game, this is like the freaking Super Bowl, man. This is everything. So that's my take on that.
Exactly. I was on Delaware yesterday, and I should have texted you because I ended up with a 2-unit play on it. Nothing crazy, but man, I wanted to drop a comma on a game yesterday. That's how I felt. I wanted to drop a big amount on that game, and I was like, it's Delaware, Lenny. It's Delaware.
I know. I felt the exact same way when we released our plays last Thursday. I was like, can Delaware really be one of my biggest bowl plays? Am I really going to do that? And then I just kind of talked myself out of it. I had lost the week before and missed my top play the week before. So I was like, can't do it. But, that's the way it goes. I did have they did close out a winning football week for me, though. So,
but here's the deal. Should you, and this is a question for Robert, I guess, and Lenny, should you, as a bettor and a handicapper, be betting basically other than what Lenny always says, pizza money, on non-playoff bowl games? Because, man, over here birdie, the distractions between the NIL, searching for the next idea, where you're going to play next year, the coaches' movements. I mean, it has made it. I mean, let's be honest. It's kind of like playing a scratch-off lottery ticket. It's really a lot more hit or miss. Is that the case, Robert?
No, I don't agree with that, because I think it's the same as it always has been in that motivation level. You just got to find teams that want to play in these games and are focused and motivated. You focus on coaching. For me, one of the things, unless you have mass defections from a team, I always say this, I'm a very macro college football handicapper, right? I just look at the teams, the coaches. I try and look at it from the 10,000-foot view. I do not get caught up with, this team's left tackle is out or this team's star corner is out, because the disparity between the starters in college and the guys behind them is nothing. You see teams lose a star running back. You've seen teams lose a star quarterback. I always go back to the Ohio State national champion thing with Cardell Jones. They lost their first quarterback, then they lost their second quarterback, and then their third quarterback came in and lit everybody up. Now, that's an extreme example, but just injuries in college football do not mean what they do in the NFL. And so that's the way I look at it. So if you got a team that has 4 or 5 guys opt out, there's no telling that the guys behind them aren't better or aren't just as good. So like, unless you have a team that you know is just mailing it in, or a team that just like half the team has already announced that they're transferred. But even in those situations, the books then jack up the numbers so much that maybe there's some value on them. But no, I think that it just takes a little bit more work. It takes a little bit more work for handicappers. And Craig, that's why you and guys like you and I exist. Like John Q. Public that isn't following this stuff and isn't like drilling down on motivation levels and the transfer portal and stuff like that. Yeah, they don't stand a chance. Okay. But for guys like you and I that are a little bit more experienced with this, I definitely think that there's still value in betting bowl games.
And that's why we preach the free $60 account for new customers, because take the guesswork out of it. Find a capper you like and roll with.
I almost like last year
all the time. Might be the smartest thing he's ever said in his life. But we're like cooking with flavors. Baskin Robbins, right? If you don't like this guy, then try that guy. And if you don't like that guy, try that guy or this guy or that guy around like this. There's like, I think 12, 13 different options over there. If you can't find one, then maybe it's you.
One last thing to say about that. One last thing to put an exclamation point on that though, Craig, is that I actually think that there's more value in digging around and rooting around and finding a bowl game that people aren't paying as much attention to and finding a high value situation where there could be a blowout than there is in a lot of these playoff games. Like, how are you really? I was breaking down the Alabama-Oklahoma game this morning, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm not going to bet this game. Where's the angle there? That Miami-Texas A&M game, I like a side on it, but if either one of those teams won by double digits, I don't think it would shock me. Like, I think it's harder to find value in the playoff games because the talent level is so close than it will be in some of these bowl games where the motivation levels are here and here.
Well, I did like last year's. I know it was mass chaos when they had the early portal where you could enter, but now guys stay, especially these early bowl games. By the way, they go ahead and play the portal and use it as like a selling point. So you don't know, like, are these guys just trying to get their stats, and are they leaving? Because a lot of that news doesn't come out. Where obviously when they entered the portal, we all knew. Some of those still played, by the way. Some of these, not always, but like sometimes they did last year. So that made it really hard. But now we really don't know especially some of these smaller conferences.
But that's not new. Like, Craig, you played on teams a lot when you were younger. Like, there were guys.
I never had half the guys leaving. We had the same team every year that I
listen. But my point is, maybe it was the same guys every year, but you knew there were guys on that team that cared about themselves and their stats. And there were guys that were like all about the team. You know what I mean? Like that's not.
But
it's not a new thing in sports that some guys only care about themselves, their stats, and how they look versus guys that are just like lay down on barbed wire for the team. Like that. It's just not a new thing.
Like tonight, you should be betting the NBA, college basketball, in my opinion, NHL. Like these are way more like I think. You know what you're going to get kind of deals. I think you can at least – now, that doesn't mean you're going to win more.
You bet Grandma's Farm on Missouri State.
Right, yeah. I like Missouri State. It's not like I don't like them. I'm just saying I think there's better – even in college hoops tonight. And I think college hoops is extremely hard early this season. I've been really selective. By the way, last time we talked, Robert, I said if Jizzle James comes back, what happened last night? You see Jizzle James comes back. Kind of like the worst kept secret around Cincinnati that he was
sure.
Playing. But for him to come back and play like it literally was all announced the same day, and they played Alabama State and they won by a lot.
Wow, that's the thing. They have Clemson this weekend. Yeah. What type of impact is he going to make? That's real competition there. What type of
they needed a point guard, something terrible. So and a playmaker. So now will it be enough? I don't know. But that's the kind of stuff I love digging into instead of maybe bowl action.
Oh my God, 100%. Like before the transfer portal, guys used to transfer, and if they transferred mid-season, they'd come back in December of the next year, right? Like you lose that first semester. That used to be a huge handicapping because nobody was paying attention to mid-season transfer stuff. So it's going to be interesting. That spread, I am projecting that Clemson-Cincinnati spread will be around 7.5, 8. Clemson will be around an 8-point favorite. Are the books going to adjust the line because of Jizzle James? And if they don't, maybe a little bit of value there on them there Bearcats.
I think Cincinnati's better than South Carolina. and South Carolina basically kept it right there. So I mean, like if I'd like to do comparative.
Yep.
Now that's a rivalry game, so you somewhat
Yes.
sometimes that was one of my plays the other day, but you kind of got a grain of salt type of thing on rivalry games. But still, like just all things being equal, Cincinnati's a little deeper. I think a little more athletic. I still like West Miller's a coach, so I still hope it's the Lenny. When your team's bad, you're like, I want to be bad, so we make a bunch of changes. I kind of hope they're bad enough where we fired Wes Miller and bring back Bob Huggins. I'm going to start it. Bob Huggins back at Cincinnati next year.
Well, again, this Cincinnati team, they beat Dayton. They only lost by 10 to Louisville, even though that one was played a little bit closer to home. Like, this is a win. If they have any,
that was played in Cincinnati, by the way.
Yes,
it's just not at Cincinnati's home for it.
Right. It was in Cincinnati, but not on campus. But if they have any illusions of making a run, trying to be an NCAA tournament team, like this Clemson game is a must-win. It's a must-win game. They got to have it. And are they going to be able to hang around against that team coming off there?
The positive thing about being in a big conference now for Cincinnati, you get tons of opportunities to play ranked teams. So you will have lots of opportunities, but you would have to win at a really high rate. And I think it's going to be a tough year in the Big 12.
Oh, the Big 12 is a bear. Yeah, the Big 12 is definitely.
Like the TCUs that no one's like talking about, I think would kill them. I think they would kill them. So that's the problem. It's not just about the good team. It's not about the top 5 or 6 that you talk about that are ranked. It's the ones that are like basically the middle to the bottom that are good too, that I think we would struggle with right now. When I say we, I mean Cincinnati as being a fan. So,
did anything jump out at you on today's card in college? We got a little OVC action, a little Missouri Valley action going on today. League play starting.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised it was such a good schedule yesterday, and then I was like, oh yeah. Let's see what. And then you look at it, you're like, why didn't some of these games, yesterday? Like the VCU game, Temple Davidson, I think is interesting. I like Temple plus the points in that one. These teams look a lot alike in my opinion.
Yeah,
6.5 seems. I thought a little heavy. I thought it should be 4.
Yeah, did it get up to 6.5? It was a 5.5 earlier, and that wasn't enough for me. But I did a free play video, which, by the way, like and subscribe to the Doc Sports YouTube channel and get all those free play videos. I did a free play video on this game, nailed the number yesterday. And don't forget, Davidson looking ahead. They're going to Kansas this weekend. They're going to Fog Allen, play a true road game. Like that's a big game for Davidson right there. So are they looking past Temple a little bit here? But I want to see some of that OVC action. Like Little Rock was a team that came into Little Rock at Southern Indiana. Okay. Like not moving the meter. We got the Rams Seahawks over here. We got Little Rock, Southern Indiana over here. However, Little Rock came into the season as one of the favorites in this league. And this is the challenge of handicapping college basketball in the small conferences. They were supposed to get back this guy, KK Robinson, who was an all-league player 2 years ago, missed last season with an injury. KK Robinson and his 2 younger brothers who are coming in as freshmen were supposed to be on this Little Rock team. They're not on the team. I can't figure out why. I don't know why KK Robinson hasn't played. That being said, so Little Rock has not gotten off to a good start this year. I still think they're better than Southern Indiana. I think the wrong team is favored in this one. Little Rock has played a more challenging schedule. They do still have 2 starters back from a team that won 12 regular season conference games last year. So a little bit of value there, I think, with Little Rock catching points.
One of the most interesting games on the board, late game, Pepperdine, Long Beach State, the Beaches, as they say, or the Beach. I forget which one they go with, but still crazy that's their
nickname
that they changed to that. But
Long Beach State Beach.
How do you being 2-9? You'll have to play them. 2-9, Long Beach State favored by 4 points. I know they played a little tougher schedule than Pepperdine at 4-7, but to be a 4-point favor when you're 2-9, that's kind of like, especially when you have light teams. These are pretty light, as far as size and strength. I was like, I got to play Long Beach State. Got to.
I mean, they've screwed me over. Like I had a play on UC Santa Barbara against them last week, lost, came back because I was like, okay, that was BS that they covered. Took UC San Diego against them. UC San Diego was up double digits late, backdoor for Long Beach State. So I'm officially done with Long Beach State. They suck, but I kind of agree with your read. They suck. So why are they laying points tonight?
Right. Yeah.
Like those are the ones that you kind of have to circle and trust the books a little bit, because if not, it really should be like a 2.5 point.
Scott Blakely is asking, do you think Georgia covers? This was the last game that I pulled off my card. I couldn't pull the trigger on it. I had Western Carolina written down. Okay. The reason that I pulled it off is that Georgia does not call off the dogs. Okay. You look at some of their wins this year, and they are healthily beating teams by 50 points. Now, they are coming off that win over Cincinnati last Saturday, kind of a big win. And we're in that weird situation where home game, but the kids aren't on campus. The students are not on campus. We saw this with Xavier last night. If you watch that Creighton Xavier, even the announcers made a comment about it earlier in the game. Like, not the same type of atmosphere. The kids have been gone for a week. I think that that's what we're going to run into in Georgia this week or tonight as well. There's just not going to be that energy level. It's a 34-point line. Are they going to have the juice to go out and win by 42? Now, again, they leave their starters in. Mike White leaves his starters in like way longer than he should. Is he going to do that here? I don't think so. I wrote down Western Carolina, but I didn't have the balls to take it. So that's my lean. I guess my lean is on Western Carolina.
You know why I have trouble betting Mike White? How dumb you have to be to leave Florida. Like, all the championships won at Florida in the hoops, and where's Georgia in there? And he left. Now, maybe it was, hey, you either kind of leave or you're. Yeah,
that's 100% what it was.
But I think I would have made him pay me.
He just wasn't working there. It just wasn't working there.
His dad's an athletic director at Duke, is it?
No idea.
And his dad's was an AD in a pretty big college basketball campus. I forget where it is. So, but they do score a ton. I think they're top 5 scoring, right? In college basketball this year.
Because they run it up. Because they run it up on teams. And that Western Carolina team, like, they're going to be in the mix in the SoCon. I think that they're a little bit undervalued heading into league play. They brought back 4 or 5 starters from last year, and they've kind of hung around. Like, they only lost by 22 to Virginia Tech. They lost by 20 to High Point. That's a really good High Point team. You know, like, they've shown an ability to kind of hang in there, I guess. Oh, I just don't know what Georgia's motivation at 34 is a ton of points. So Georgia could win by 28, and I feel like they'd be really happy with that. You know what I mean? Like 92, 64 type of that.
Don't forget, this is exam week in a lot of these places too. So it's like most places, some were the end of last week, but most college campuses, it's exam week. That's why there's not really big games. They'd rather schedule in Western Carolina because they're like, if we have a letdown, we'll probably still get a win versus, and this is why most of the leagues, other than the Big East, start conference play either next week or the week after. The Big Ten skipped this week for most of, if you notice, the Big Ten didn't have like a lot of Big Ten schedule. They're scheduling other because of this reason as well. So just be careful on that.
Okay, I said that was the last one that I cut off my college card. I'm still a little irritated at myself right now. I want to let a 7-unit play rip in the NBA today, and I did not. So I will give that as my free play. I used it on my card. I have 5 plays on my card. I really like Charlotte tonight catching the points. I really like Charlotte in this game catching the points. They were here in Atlanta a few weeks ago. I knew some people that went to that game, and they told me they were like, Charlotte was a better team for 80% of that game. They always play Atlanta a little bit tough. Trae Young is coming back from Atlanta, okay? And anybody that has heard me, read anything I read, you know what I think about Trae Young. The guy's a loser. I think Atlanta's got a good thing going, and I think that he's going to screw with their chemistry. So I just don't know if I trust them on the road. A little bit of a regional rivalry game, 5.5 points. I think the public is going to look at this and be like, oh, man, Trae Young's coming back. Like, Atlanta, let's get on Atlanta, not realizing that he's garbage and that he's actually worse for that team. So I wanted to let it fly tonight, but I actually have a game tomorrow that I think I like a little bit more.
The one thing I think about Charlotte is, we've heard it here all year that Ball might be available via trade. He's saying all the right things, like, no, I want to stay. I really think he wants to go, but like, he's saying the right thing so that I think makes it so that they'll get a little more value. But maybe, the one thing with him is like, it's the one-legged 3-pointers. Like, you're like, dude, come on, pull up and shoot a jump shot if you're going to shoot it. You don't need to. It's just He doesn't. I'm not saying he doesn't care, but it comes off as that. When he plays serious basketball, this team is dangerous, and they're finally healthy. So in Atlanta, like you said, it was addition by subtraction. When they didn't have Porzingis and Trae Young, they played way better. Like, it doesn't make sense other than they don't play defense, either one of them, at all.
I have no NBA play.
It makes perfect sense because he's just not that good. He is not a good basketball player. And I saw an article this morning, okay? Mathematically, the Hawks have a 2.1 net rating without Trae Young. The best net rating that the Hawks have ever had in any season with Trae Young is 2.2, okay? Their record is 14-9 without him, 1-3 with him. For his career, Trae Young is 221 and 267. They have won 45% of his games since he's been in Atlanta. They're 13th ranked in defense. They have never been in the top half of the league with Trae Young at defense.
Yeah.
And then there are other analytics talking about like number of passes made. Okay, now that he's not on the court, like number of dribbles, percentage of time with the ball type of thing. Like
a whole different
stuff. Like this is not just, I've been saying this for years, and it's not just me saying it watching with my eyes. Like mathematically, Atlanta is a better basketball team without Trae Young because Trae Young is not good at basketball.
Yeah, well, it helped. It wasn't always the case in other years because they didn't necessarily. Alexander Walker is a stud. He's the opposite of him. He plays great defense, takes good shots. He creates other things for his other opponent or for his teammates. It's like he does all the things that Trae Young doesn't do. So it's like the anti-Trae Young on the same team.
Yeah,
So
they have a go-to guy with Jalen Johnson who's really coming into their own. You know, if Risha Shea, I don't know if I said that. Zach Risha, they're the number 1 overall pick 2 years ago. If they were right about that guy and he develops into something, then now Atlanta's got something. So I've been saying forever, trade that guy for parts, bring in some more role player type of guys, and
Porzingis' contract expires after this year, so you're going to have a lot of money there too. So you could probably go get you somebody in the free agent market, like potentially, or a sign and trade. There's all kinds of options that you have if you free up the Trae Young money too, especially. I mean, it could be a special team, I think, going forward. Now, finding a Trae Young, finding a ball, guy, finding the Grizzlies, John Morant. They're big contracts. Who's taking them? They're all three basically available. It sounds like. I don't know.
Again,
I don't know if I'd want any of them.
Minnesota and San Antonio. Those are the teams that I think that he would fit well on. And I think with a team like Minnesota, you could get a couple role players. Like, do they give up DiVincenzo and Naz Reid to get?
Dude, I had no way I'd do that deal if I'm Timberwolves.
If you're the Timberwolves, right. That's what I'm saying. But like, you got to be looking at the.
And I don't think the Spurs.
Right now, if you're Minnesota, you got to be looking at Houston. You got to be looking at Denver. You got to be looking at the Lakers. You got to be looking at Oklahoma City and say, okay, we were X close to making it to the finals last year. Is Minnesota closer or further away? They're further away.
None of those guys get them any closer. It might make them worse.
Trae Young,
maybe John Morant. If you said John Morant is focused and all that other like BS that unfortunately is the guns, the throwing your coach and your players under the bus right after the game. If none of that exists, okay, he would make Minnesota better. Unfortunately, I don't know if that's ever going to go away.
No, we're Trae Young. Say what you want about him, but you don't have that kind of like off-court nonsense.
No, he doesn't. The off-court stuff's not the issue. It's just his style of play. To me, if I'm playing Trae Young, I just screen until he's on the ball. Whoever I want to take him on the ball that's bigger, and they just go to work and just kill him all game long.
All right, Cameron is asking about Furman and Manhattan. I couldn't do it. I just don't think that Furman is very good. That's just that's still a tall number for them, and they haven't really proven that they're going to go out and lay it. I just don't see it. Another thing about Furman is that this is their first game in like 9 or 10 days. I don't like betting on big favorites that haven't been playing. You know what I mean? Like they haven't played a Division I team since December 6th. Okay, so
which is crazy.
It's been a while. Well, you mentioned it. Like you got finals weeks. Yeah. You got the end of the semester stuff. They try and give these kids teams. I forget who it was that I bet earlier this week. I bet against. It was some team. They hadn't played a Division I team since like November 29th. It had been like they had played one game in like 15 or 16 days. I was like, yeah, I'm betting against them.
Which makes it hard because the rest of the year, they're going to have to be basically every third day playing. So because you got to get those games in somewhere. Question NHL tonight, Lenny. you're kind of out of the three of us. I think you've been pretty hot there with your NHL plays. I've been following the premium area there. Lightning have the Kings. The Kings are in a back-to-back. They lost at Florida. Now they're playing a Lightning team. I know Lightning have been, lately, but it just seems like this is a spot where the Lightning, if you take them, I don't like them for the money line, but if you do the in regulation, seems like the Lightning would be the play now.
I stayed away. I don't want nothing to do with that game. I'm more on the Rangers. Somebody asked about that in the chat. I'm all about that. I'm on the Rangers in regulation, money line, and on the puck line. I hope.
Damn.
I did this yesterday with Florida. There's certain spots where I just like I liked Florida yesterday a lot. So the money line was good enough.
Did you buy my 7-unit play? Is that who bought it? I know who bought it now.
Well, the Rangers are like the easiest team in hockey to handicap, right? You bet on them on the road, you bet against them at home. It is like so freakish and bizarre.
I don't
how
understand
bad they are at home. It doesn't make any sense.
In New York. Where the New York fans can be crazy, like at times. I guess it's like they like winners more. So if you start losing, they might be rooting against you, like booing you. So maybe
I'm telling you, the Rangers are the Rangers are. I mean, take out Colorado, who's the best team in the NHL. The Rangers are like the second best team in the NHL on the road. They just do things on the road that they cannot do at home. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't care. But whatever. In St. Louis.
It's the hookers, Lenny. It's the hookers.
It is the hookers.
There's too many hookers in New York City. They can't stay away.
You can't say that because Vegas, and Vegas is a decent team.
Per capita, are there more hookers in New York City or in the Eastern Bloc, where a lot of these guys are coming from? Hey, am I walking into a I took Philadelphia, and we might have to mark that. We might have to edit that out. I'm not going to be no ambassadorship for me to. No,
I'm out.
Am I walking into a trap? I like Philadelphia tonight at Buffalo. I know they don't play historically. They don't play well in Buffalo, but I'm on board with this Philadelphia team. Their coach has them like running through walls and stuff like that. I just kind of think they're undervalued. I kind of like what they're doing, and I just don't know that Buffalo deserves to be this big of a favorite in this spot against what I presume is a better team.
That's why I stayed away. Scared the crap out of me. I thought it should be like a pick'em, and it was like where it was. I was like,
right.
I was like, who's not playing? Like that's.
Now it's going the other way. Like now Buffalo's up to -145.
I know.
This game. I'm
like, I always assume when the line's way off of especially in hockey, that I'm missing a goalie change, a key player, because there's so many players on a hockey team, and it's underreported comparatively, say the NBA, the NFL. So it's like by the time everybody else must know it, if I feel like if the line's off, so I can't play it because I feel like I'm missing something.
I also feel like the odds makers in the NHL are much, much slower to adjust to what's actually happening than like the NBA in college basketball and stuff like that. Like you got a team in the NBA that suddenly gets hot, wins 3, 4, 5 games. All of a sudden their numbers are 3 points different. Yeah, in the NHL, I
wonder what Raphael would have an opinion on this. Obviously, he's our guy that was in Vegas at doing it. Like that's what his job was for 15, 20 years. That is it because that gets less action? So this, is that the only driving force, or is I would love to hear that because you're right. The NHL seems to be like a week or two behind comparatively, especially the NFL and NBA.
Yeah, 100%. Like you look at a team like Utah last year with San Jose and Anaheim. There's some teams that they're just really, really, really slow on.
I mean, San Jose tonight, right?
Are they favored though? Did I see them?
Yeah, so they're favored tonight. Not tonight.
Plus 170
This
tonight.
is a letdown spot for Dallas. Understand what Dallas has coming up, where they have I think
maybe it's tomorrow. I'm sorry, maybe it's a look ahead line for tomorrow. They're in Anaheim, I think.
Yeah,
and Anaheim is favored, which I was surprised.
I couldn't believe San Jose State or San Jose Sharks are plus 170 tonight. They are 15-3,
right?
Plus the 1.5, plus the 1.5. See, and most times you're getting them basically even money, even laying the plus 1.5.
Yeah, I had a monster hockey season last year, and a lot of it was on the backs of San Jose plus 1.5. This is what I mean. Super slow. Also,
it's probably the one thing I don't bet
winning money all year. I mean, we've been riding the
yeah, they're good, right? Like they're
they're not going to be that. Listen, the Colorado Rockies got better. The Oakland A's got better. I'm just saying they will. They're not going to lose all 82.
Forever. Yeah.
Forever.
And the juice.
Minnesota and the Wild tonight. The Wild are one of those games where it's in regulation, money line, puck line.
Careful.
Oh, shit.
Careful.
Bang, bang, bang.
Careful. The only thing about that, I like them a little bit, not as much. And the reason why is they have this game tonight, and coming up this weekend, they play Edmonton and Colorado back-to-back, Saturday, Sunday. So they've won 5 straight. They just hammered Washington, hammered Boston. They've been on a hot streak. Now they have this weird midweek road game as a favorite, knowing that they have the Oilers and Avs at home this weekend. So, not a great situational spot for them. Are they better? 100%. I have no problem betting against Columbus on home ice, and I'm with you. I like Minnesota, but just that's the reason it wasn't a bigger play for me, is that situationally, this is a spot where they could get tripped up.
All right,
agree.
We're 37 minutes in, and we haven't really given a pick in the NFL Thursday, the best Thursday night football game of the year.
All right, take me there. Take me there, Craig.
You want me to tell you the
I'm going to say I love this game. I'm not betting it other than a prop. I like a prop tonight. I'm going to give you that prop. Shaheed over his yards tonight. He's been really good the last 2 games. I think he's averaged like 70.5 yards the last 2 games. It's like 36.5 tonight, 37.5, 36.5.
Juicy.
37. It's a little juicy. I think he goes over 50 again. He's one of those guys, he can take a 10-yard pass and make it 25 like that. It was a great pickup, I thought. A great pickup. Yeah. And I think they're going to win tonight. I do think Seattle's going to win, but I'm going to stay off the side. I think it's going to be a great game to watch. To me, play a couple props, have fun with it. But I want to see what this ends up, because I have a feeling these teams might play a third time this year. I just you know what I mean? They've been great, both of them.
The reason they got Shaheed and the reason that he has been able to make an instant impact is he already knew the offense. Like, they went and got him because Clint Kubiak was the offensive coordinator in New Orleans last year. So they knew that they could bring this guy in midseason and he could make an instant impact, and he has. I'm with you. I got a little lean on Seattle. I 100% will not be putting a dime on this game. I'm just going to make a drink, sit back and enjoy it. Interesting that the weather is going to be bad. Rain and a lot of wind.
It's raining in Seattle.
So you would normally think, okay, that's going to favor the home team. That's going to favor the Seahawks. I actually think bad weather favors the Rams a little bit, because the Rams have the better running game. The Rams have a top 5 running game. Seattle is number 22 in the NFL running the football. They do not dictate terms with their offensive line. And the Rams, I feel like the Rams have let some teams hang around in recent weeks because they're not running the ball enough. So it's almost like bad weather might save Sean McVay from himself, put the ball in Williams and Corum's hands, and the Rams are a lot to handle. So
the defenses really don't get enough credit from these 2 teams. Like, everybody wants to talk about, and be honest, they both had great years. They're both like basically kind of borderline or even MVP candidates. So both and when that happens, but it's like their defenses are awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think Seattle's is better. I think they have the better defense. I think
they gave up, was it 4 turnovers the first matchup? He gave up 4 interceptions.
And they still should have won.
They still had a chance to win.
They outgained them by like 170 yards in that game. And they had the ball down 2 late in that game with a chance to kick a field goal and win, and weren't able to do it. So I like, a lot of things are pointing towards Seattle. For me, there's absolutely no way that I'm betting against the Rams, though.
I don't like games where I feel I can make really, really strong arguments on both teams.
Yeah.
To me, why bet something if you don't think you really have an edge? That's where the difference between us and the square public is. The square public has to have a play on a primetime game. They have to have a play they're watching. And to me, that just is, I don't see that value. To me, I'll just watch the game and enjoy it. I can do that without having action on the game. Sometimes I'm not an action junkie. I like to play craps. Agreed. I like to play blackjack when I'm in the casinos, but I'm not like, if I'm watching the game, I have to have a bet on it. And that's maybe one of the greatest advices you can get is sometimes just watch the game. You don't have to have.
Sometimes no bet is the best bet.
Right.
For real. But all that being said, I'm on the Rams and the over and a teaser.
That's a Matt Stafford guy.
And I'm on the Rams and the under in a teaser because I think that total's about right. I'm telling you, go either way with it. 6 points either way. Prop-wise, Colby Parkinson over 39.5 receiving yards. Devontae Adams, not here. Colby Parkinson has proved to be Matt Stafford's little safety net. I mean, they're going to double Puka. And their defense can stop the run. I like Kyron with the tight end for the Rams, or not tight end, the running back for the Rams. I like him.
Yeah, Williams and Corum.
Yeah, I like both of them. But I think this is 100% what D Stout said. This is an in-game bet kind of situation. Sit back, have a couple drinks, whatever. I'll be live at halftime right here on this YouTube channel. If you're a member, at least me and Craig will be here.
How many interceptions thrown tonight between the two of them? Because last time, one from Stafford and 4 the other way, so there was 5. And these are great defenses. They put so much pressure on the ball. If there's not one each, I would be shocked.
They're just not. I just don't think they're going to throw the ball a ton. Again, It is going to rain through that entire game. There is going to be I think it's 14 to 20 mile an hour crosswinds going diagonal across the field. It is not going to be throw the ball weather. It's going to be line up and bang heads weather. So, and you look at the offenses at both. I like the Colby Parkinson one a little bit. I also like the Shaheed one because JSN and Puka, they're going to try and take them out of the games. But the tight ends are going to be involved. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be running the ball and then those little roll out, dump to the tight end, coming across from the opposite side of the field type of thing. They're not going to be driving the ball down the field. Not in this weather.
I think both running backs on both sides could get a lot of screenplays because you play it safe. I thought the game in LA, Seattle tried to push the ball down the field too much. They could have their defense was dominating and being put in terrible spots. Smith
Najoba, whatever his name is, he's one of the top 5
he's elite.
I hate Ohio State, but give me every Ohio State running back in my fantasy football leagues.
Every receiver, except for Marvin Harrison, right? The guy that was
the highest. Probably.
Yeah. Well, he's got the little Kyler Murray throwing to him.
Well, he didn't this year because Kyler Murray decided that he was going to be injured. All right, so good game tonight, I think. And maybe just as Lenny said, join us at halftime because sometimes the value isn't before the game. It might be, you're right, in-game plays today, top plays, that kind of stuff. I like it. I like it, Lenny. Good job, Lenny. Great job, Robert. Hey, guys, you want to give Lenny a present? Here's the easiest way. Like and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. If you're watching this after the fact, tell him how good looking his Detroit face is, and
just hit the like button. Robert, what do you got going on at the website?
Listen, as soon as we get off here, I'm going to post my football plays. I will have a 7-unit NFL play going this weekend. Saturday, I'm going to have a big day. I think I'm going to have a 7-unit tomorrow in the NBA. I passed on Charlotte tonight for the big play, so of course that's going to win, and tomorrow's going to lose. And then juicy spots on Saturday. I see a hockey potential big play, and definitely college basketball. Got it going in college basketball. I had a 7-unit play, then a 6-unit play last night. I'm plus 3,000 run there. Took a little bit, but I'm good.
All right, Craig, what do you got going on tonight?
I'm not going to say the H word, but I'm
going. Heater. He's on a heater. It's a lot.
I have a 7-unit play in the NBA tonight. Been decent this week. Let's just say that. You can go check the stats. But hey, let's get it tonight. But be careful, man. Hey, most important thing in betting is discipline and money management. So, if you don't learn anything from this show today, not about the picks, it's, discipline and money management. Every day doesn't have to be all in on your bankroll. In fact, it should never be. So make sure you get in. Hey, don't forget tomorrow. We're all going to be back on tomorrow, right? It's going to be the same crew, and we're going to be talking. There's one playoff game tomorrow. Playoff game tomorrow. 3 playoff games on Saturday. We'll talk about all of them. Of course, if we have a play on it, we won't talk on that game, but I'm sure one of us won't, so we'll have information on all of them. And then a bunch of other bowl games tomorrow.
College basketball, Villanova, Wisconsin tomorrow. There's some good NBA tomorrow. So
the Myrtle Beach Bowl will probably be halftime because it starts at 11 tomorrow. So it'll be probably about halftime when we get on to 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Nice.
Which is crazy. 11 o'clock bowl game on a Friday. That's not a holiday. It's nuts.
I think that's awesome.
I mean, it's great for people that we can sit at home and watch. But
Yeah, degenerates have something to do. Yeah.
I'm going to be up at 7 a.m. pre-gaming for the 8 a.m. and the West
All
Coast.
betting and baklava for breakfast. There you go.
All right, guys. Good luck unless you're against us. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern.